We've been looking at lighting for the house for the past year or so. Much of the existing lighting in the home is functional and still in restorable condition. In fact, we were able to recover some of the previous owner's bridge lamps from an auction of items from her estate. But it's a mixed bag of styles, and some of it is in pretty rough shape. We'll get to more on lighting in a future video. Meanwhile, let me show you what I did to make this one example go from pretty nasty to pretty pretty. I bought this chandelier at an estate sale as part of a lot of lights. In the lot, there were 4 chandeliers, 2 brass Spanish sconces, 2 leaf pattern wall sconces, 1 vanity light, and a pair of antlers that the seller threw in at the last minute. As I recall, I paid about $120 for the whole lot. My first goal was to completely disassemble and clean each part. As usual, I started with the least abrasive cleaning solution possible, in this case, Dawn dishwashing soap with soapy water. First, I cleaned the little arms that hold Angel Tears teardrop crystals. Below the sockets, there are flower-like plates called barbèches. At least I think I have that pronounced correctly. Somebody can correct me if I don't. Barbèches sit between the arm and the socket. Historically, a barbèche is the part of the candlestick that catches the wax that drips down from the candle. In these chandeliers, the barbèche has tiny holes that hold the teardrop crystals. I cleaned each part: stem column, barbèches, bottom bowl, arms. I disassembled the arms, unscrewing each one of them from the bottom bowl. I tested the 18-gauge wires that run through the arms to each socket and replaced any worn wires. The main wire feeds through what is called the threaded rod, and the rod will be hidden by the stem pieces when the chandelier is reassembled. One of the tricky steps was unscrewing the socket arms without damaging the wires. I fed the 18-gauge wire pairs through the arms. It isn't really visible here, but I tied the knot where the wire exits from the threaded tube and screws into a little cage. The 2 wires come out of the sides of the small metal cage. Now, the purpose of this little cage is to provide an ability or a connection between the threaded tube and the bottom ball, enclosing the wiring within the bottom bowl. I replaced the wires to the individual arms. I replaced all of the sockets. Some of them looked salvageable, but I opted to replace all of them. I may test and reuse a few of them in one of the other chandeliers. I cleaned the angel's tears crystals with isopropyl alcohol. The teardrop crystals are strung from the little holes that hold each crystal by its brass wire. Each socket is covered by a cardboard tube, which in turn is covered by a candle tube, which resembles a candle and hides the socket. I reassembled the arms, and what I have discovered are called scrolls. The scrolls are the little curved parts that come out from the stem. And only hold crystals. And finally, the candelabra balls are installed, completing the look. Well, that's it. And thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy it, then please help us out by hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel.